as always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
OU men's hoops.
Let's go.
Let's go. Got the W. It almost got out of hand there in the closing minutes, but they were able to lock it up. It was a gritty basketball game. They controlled from early on, and Oklahoma State made a couple of runs, including a run there at the end, but were able to go ahead and get the win. It was big. It came at a very, very much needed time. Looked like there was a pretty good crowd in there. It was nice for them to get what they'd lost, I think, 11 of the last 13. So it was nice of them to get that W. And it's going to be tough, but there's still a window of opportunity to make the NCAA tournament. Going to have to probably win out and then do some damage in the conference tournament. But this win against Oklahoma State was the first step.
Yeah, they were really, really good early in that game. Right, first half, and they made Oklahoma State very uncomfortable on the offensive end. I mean, Oklahoma State shot the ball horribly, but I thought that the way that OU defended, had a big part to do with that. Pretty balanced scoring from the Sooners as well, which was nice to see. Wish it wouldn't have gone to overtime, but shout out to a couple bad turnovers for the Cowboys. Shout out for the assistants.
Yep. It was wild there at the end, man. We had a couple of bad turnovers. They hit a couple of big shots. We missed some free throws, and I will admit, okay, I don't feel good about it, but I thought they were going to lose once Oklahoma State closed the distance and sent it to overtime. But kudos to them for having the resolve to be able to go out there and get that win. That was big time.
It was fun. It was fun to watch them win. And I was hoping you'd make them your winner of the weekend. You've been tough on them.
I was hoping. I've been waiting for this moment.
How you feel? Okay. How's it feel? Good?
It feels good. I was starting to get some hate in the comment section out there.
I just
call it how it is, folks. That's it. Come on. Get mad at me.
You weren't losing the games. They were. When they win, look at you.
Hello. That's right.
All right. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
Kyrie Irving. This is interesting. So the vaccine mandate, which I think it's common knowledge up to this point that Kyrie Irving, unvaccinated, unapologetic about it. But the vaccine mandate is being dropped in New York City. But, which means, no longer prohibiting unvaccinated fans from entering the city's many venues, notably the Barclays Center. But the private sector mandate is still going to restrict Kyrie Irving from playing in home games, although he could enter Barclays Center as a spectator. So there's been a lot of talk about this. Silver has even said that it doesn't make any sense. You would hope there'd be some type of resolution to it. But as of right now, Kyrie Irving still, even though the vaccine mandate is going to be dropped by New York City, still will not be able to play in home games as of right now.
That doesn't make sense, right?
No, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, Did you watch what he did to the Bucks on Saturday night? I watched a lot of that game. 38. Went on the road in Milwaukee, where I guess it's cool. He can play in Wisconsin. But, I mean, what?
At this point, he can probably play almost everywhere except for, maybe California and New York City?
I would assume it'll change by the playoffs. But, man, yeah.
It's weird.
No, you would think that, if you would let everyone else in the building that you'd let the guy play. Why can't my question with that whole thing is why can't he just test right before every game? Like if it's still a thing, why can't he just do that and then play?
Because I think they stopped testing.
Well, why don't they just
he's also already had it.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd be like, just test me before every game and just let me play.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's crazy, but I don't know. I think that this deal's going to be resolved pretty quickly.
I agree.
I can't imagine that even Adam Silver has said that it doesn't make sense. I mean, just look at the NFL. The NFL had this whole bubble set up for the combine, right? And then everyone's like, yeah, we're not going to come. We're not going to do it. And it's like, all right, we dropped the bubble. Everyone's good to go.
Yeah, never mind. All right. If you were a whiskey or bourbon drinker, I got to come up with a way to work in but first on this one. It's the only one I don't do. It's like, oh, I'll give you my winners and losers of the weekend, but first. There we go. If you're a whiskey or bourbon, it's so stupid. If you are a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing. Head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
And everyone's catching on. Everyone knows this by now, but it's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year-round. In 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan, became the first American distillery to win the competition. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners, yes, they are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. I feel like the fancy corn line is becoming like our hit song where people know it's coming and you can pull the mic away and just point it towards the crowd. And yeah, the fancy corn.
Come on. When are you guys going to do the fancy corn? It's great.
Play the hits.
Play the hits.
All right. For my winner of the weekend, we do not talk politics on here, but I had to say something about Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This quote, I mean, all-time badass list of quotes. Right? Talking about offering to evacuate him out of the country. Said, I need ammunition, not a ride. All-time badass quote. All-time.
Awesome. Yeah, well.
Quote of the year.
There's no doubt. They have
the horrible situation, man.
It is. But, here's the interesting thing, social media, which it's so weird. I feel like for every 5 things I read about the situation, 4 of them aren't real or turn out to be not true. But all that being said, social media has really gotten pretty much the entire world on Ukraine's side, right? Because of the stories and everything that you can see in real time coming out of there. So it's been wild.
I've got Ukrainian roots, man. So
yeah,
keep fighting the good fight, Ukraine. Okay. Let's go. Also thought about going with James Harden. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty good for the 76ers. They're 2-0 with him. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. They have so much more space to work. They got to be loving life. Harden on Sunday against the Knicks. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 16 assists, 5 steals. I mean, I guess the hammy's fine.
James Harden needs to sign 10-day contracts everywhere. That just float around to the NBA. Be a mercenary.
And meanwhile, Ben Simmons, his back hurts, so he's not playing yet for the Nets. So we'll see. But winner of the weekend, OU softball went out to the Mariner Classic and went 5-0, moving them to 15-0 on the season. And pretty interesting, right? 5 games. dominated 3 of them, right? Run ruled Cal State Fullerton in 6 innings. Casual perfect game there for Jordy Ball. Run ruled Long Beach State, I think, in 5. Run ruled a top 10 Arizona squad in 5. That was damn impressive. But really what I thought was most valuable on this trip for them were the wins over Tennessee and Utah. Ted, they played close games. I mean, they played close games. What was that?
No, they did. It was great. The Tennessee game, I was on a quick run to Home Depot to pick up a garbage disposal.
Don't know if I'll have enough time.
Yeah. I had to pick up a garbage disposal and replace one of those. That was no fun, but I did sit in the car in the Home Depot parking lot for what turned out to be a very extended amount of time, listening to Chris Plank call the end of that game, which continued and continued and continued, but was action-packed, really cool. Plank did an awesome job on the call. Felt like I was there. That was awesome.
Yeah, and, just some of the highlights of the Tennessee win, right? Because they fell behind, able to force the extra innings. Clearly Jada Coleman's walk-off. By the way, love that kid's energy. Love it. I'm all about it. But just walks it off with the homer there in the 10th inning. But I was impressed. Of course, the perfect game was cool, but the way that Jordy Ball handled coming back into that game was impressive, right? She ends up striking out, I think, 16 in that game, but came back in the 7th, if my memory serves me correctly, and did some really good things after getting hit. I mean, how many times in that young lady's life has she had runs scored on her? So I really like the way she responded coming back in. And then by far the best thing in the Tennessee game, Jocelyn Allo's reaction to being intentionally walked was so funny. I watched that clip 15 times. I couldn't get enough of it. It was hilarious.
Just so pissed. I understand. It's got to be frustrating. But gosh, what a really cool weekend. And here's the thing, man. And I saw a bunch of people tweeting about this, not necessarily OU people, just college softball people. Right, that venue was like overflowing full of people and
jam packed.
Yeah, we're in February, man. That's like a postseason type of crowd watching college softball. So the sport is on fire right now. Can't wait for the season.
Yeah, and then OU got the win over Utah Sunday. Trotwine, Jordy Ball, both good in the circle to get the win there. And lots of stars on this team, but pretty cool seeing Riley Boone be the one that turns out to have the game-winning RBI. So we'll keep talking quite a bit of softball on here, people. Yep. So don't you worry. We recognize how much you guys love that team, so we're going to keep talking about it. We know what the people want us to talk about. We understand that.
And I will say, I'm kind of glad that they're playing in some tight games. There for a while, I was like, it could be hard to pay attention if they're going to run rule everyone the entire season.
But... Did you see Radosevich always what's he post? Eat, sleep, run, rule, repeat. Pretty awesome. It's great.
It's cool. It's fun, man. Love it.
All right, for our loser, my loser. I don't know why I grouped you in. Sorry, Ted. I don't know if you think that these people are losers or not. I apologize. My loser of the weekend. Thought about going with Major League Baseball.
I agree with that.
It doesn't seem like the negotiations with the Players Association are going well, right? The Monday deadline, or else regular season games are going to be lost. Doesn't sound like a ton of progress has been made as of this recording. So we'll see.
It's crazy because you see some of the, like they're like 125. I don't know what all the numbers are, but they're not that close on the minimum salary that the players are asking for and where the owners are. But there's like some players that are going to miss like $200,000 a game or something crazy like that they don't play, which I just think is insane. But hey, that's the business.
Yeah. It is. It is. But just figure it out. Just figure it out, guys. But my loser of the weekend, the AP top 10 in college basketball. I mean, what was that? A historic weekend in college hoops. The first time ever that the top 6 teams in the AP top 25 have lost on the same day. And the first time ever that 7 of the top 10 teams lost on the same day. Number 1, Gonzaga just got straight up outplayed and lost at St. Mary's. Number 2, Arizona got destroyed in the second half and lost at Colorado by like 14 or 16. Number 3, Auburn couldn't hit a 3 to save their lives. They lose at Tennessee. Number 4, Purdue lost on a shot with about a second to go in the game at Michigan State. Number 5, Kansas lost at Baylor. Baylor's good. Really no shame in that loss. That not that big of a deal in my mind. Number 6, Kentucky loses at Arkansas. All of a sudden, Arkansas looks like a very dangerous squad with JD Notte. Like they look good.
Have you seen? Did you see the article that I think it was Bruce Feldman put out about college football attendance and how it's down everywhere except for like Arkansas is one of the places that had like a huge bounce back. So they had a huge bounce back in football attendance, and then they had like 30,000 people at their home opener for baseball, and then they hosted Kentucky, and it was just like packed. Like Arkansas fans are on a run right now. It's crazy.
I see you, Arkansas fans. Well done. And then last team that lost, number 9, Texas Tech, goes to Fort Worth and loses to TCU, which was an absolutely massive win for Jamie Dixon's group. But yeah,
hangover game after that Oklahoma win, that big time Oklahoma win.
That's what you're going with, really?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I love it. I love it. You're defending OU men's hoops.
That's right.
By the way, OU women's hoops. Did you see that? Did you see the end of that game? Won it. Taylor Robertson 3 to win it.
Wow,
it's pretty sweet. Good game.
I think they are going to make a run in the tournament.
We got it. We got to get Bronchek on here. She's awesome. Yep. We'll work on that. But as far as all the teams in the AP top 10 losing in college hoops, man, the madness has begun. And
get it out of your system now.
I'm not so sure how likely it is that OU basketball makes the tournament. Seems very unlikely at this point in time. Mm-hmm. So this weekend, like I was a little sad about that over the weekend. And then Saturday happened and it kind of got me re-excited for the NCAA tournament because I was like, dang it, OU's probably not going to be in it. What am I going to do? I'm not going to have anyone to root for really. And I just realized like, if the Sooners aren't in the NCAA tournament, I will be rooting for chaos.
For drama.
Give me chaos because that's what Saturday was. And I watched a ton of college basketball on Saturday and it was awesome. I loved it.
Yep.
Give me all that. Give me all the upsets. I don't care.
Yep. As long as Kansas goes out early, karma. Round of 32, gone. See ya. Number 1 seed, Kansas, out. So what happens if you cheat, don't get punished for it. What a scam.
What a scam. But this weekend in college basketball got me excited because I think it could be a really, really fun year for the tournament.
I agree.
I can't wait.
I agree. And I think the Big 12 is going to be in pretty good position. They got some good teams going in.